For this practical, we are going to just use a small business. Let's say you have a small business of like 10 users, and you just want to, set up emails for them. You want to have an account. You want to manage, their infrastructure. You need to create user accounts, user emails, and also allow them have a place where they can share data and communicate efficiently and collaborate. That is fine. How do we do that? So let's start off with the practical here. What I would like everyone to do is search for E3 trial license on Google. So you search for E3 trial license on Google. It will bring up a Microsoft website for you, Office 365 E3. This is a license. We want to use the trial to set up our tenant and understand how to actually go about setting up an infrastructure, getting used or playing around with the things on there. Okay, so we'll select the first one here. It would automatically direct us to the Microsoft website, where normally if you want to buy the license, you can buy it here. It's $23. But we want to do a free subscription. We want to do a trial, which will give us 1 month free, so we can practice and then see how to get started. Okay. This is a few information on what the license actually gives you. The license allows you to have access to a lot of the productivity apps and services. Install Microsoft 365 on your mobile, computers, MacBooks, and also provide protect your information with message encryption and all of that. You can always read up on that on your own time. So since we want to do the trial, we're going to click on try for free. All right. Once we click on that, it will take us to a page where we can set up our account for a trial. Okay. So here we're going to enter our email address. All right. And we click next. Now it's going to check if you have ever used your email to set up an account on Office 365 before or Microsoft 365. If it checks and you don't have an account set up on that email, then it would give you this option to set up your account. Okay, so we'll click on set up account, and we can just enter details. Uh, you can either put a middle name or not. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. Okay, you could give your company any name that you want. With company size, you just want to do a test, so you can do 5 to 10 or 10 to 24. It doesn't matter. You either select this or not. It's your choice. And then we do next. So it's going to verify your phone number. At this point, it would send you a code that you're supposed to use to activate the account. I'm just waiting for the code. There we go. All right. Code. Okay. So when you get to this point, you can set up your username, your domain name. At this point, you can also set it up. Since we already said our company name is 365 NGO Training, I'm going to leave it at that. And then it's going to create an account. This would be your This would be your admin account because it's the first account on the tenant. So make sure to you can either change it or leave it as it is, and then you can set a password for it. Okay. All right. Once you do that, you can click next. So it's going to create a tenant for us. Just wait for it to get done. Okay. So here you can see that we're going to have 1 month of trial. Okay. And after that 1 month, you would have to renew for this price. So please, at this point, when you want to add your payment method, they will not charge you at first, but make sure to cancel the subscription once the trial has ended, so you are not billed for this. Okay. Here, just give me 1 moment. I'm going to enter the card details. It's going to stop sharing for a bit. Okay. So I've added my card. I'm just going to share my screen again so you guys can see. All right, so when you successfully add your card in, your card details, remember they're not going to charge you for the first 1 month. It is free, okay? So add your card, and then you can click on Start Trial when you get to this point, right? Please remember that once your 1 month is coming to an end, if you have money in your account and you don't want them to remove it, please cancel your subscription. I'm going to show you how to do that on the tenant before the month ends so you don't get charged. Okay. All right. So once we start our trial, we're going to click on start using the trial license, which will automatically, as I said, he automatically created an admin account for that tenant, which is 365 NGO training. And it's going to take us directly to that. Okay. So if you successfully subscribe to the trial, you would get this pop-up for the first time. All right. I'm gonna do skip, or we can just do continue. But since we don't have a domain, we're gonna just do skip, and then I can show you the details later on. You would see exit setup at the bottom here. You can always continue if you have. Let me show you. If you click on continue, if your company has a domain name, what I mean by domain name is if your company's name is uh, NGO, NGO training, and your company has a domain called ngotraining.com or ngobusinessventure.com or something like that. If you already have a domain, you can definitely connect it to your Microsoft 365 tenant from here. Put in your domain name, and it will automatically, you set it up, and it will add that domain to your tenant, so you can use that while creating a user. Um, and I'm going to show you what I mean later on. I do not have a free domain. I will show us how to add .in, but give me 1 moment. Do not have a free domain, so I'll just say let's exit setup for now. Okay, so this is where we want to actually go, and this is where we're going to play around a bit and see some of the features that we have uh, in this technology. All right. If you have any issues getting to this point, you can always relay your questions, um, and I will take a look at them and answer them for you properly. Okay. So if we're able to get to this point, then I must say you've successfully created a tenant or a Microsoft infrastructure. Not yet, but you have set up uh, an infrastructure where you can manage users, manage details, and everything for your organization, right? As you can see here, you can see the name of our organization that I set when setting up the trial. Okay. Now, this interface here is called the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, which is where you manage everything about or every service inside the Microsoft technology stack. Okay, and this includes everything, which I'm going to show us. Right here, I'm going to do a show all, so we can see all the functionalities available on the admin center. Right, and the first thing we see here is the home page, which is this. And on the home page, we can see some of the details that are there. This is a new organization, so we are going to leave it as it is. We don't have much data on. So as you go and as you use create more things and use more resources, you'll be able to get more details on here. Okay. The next tab here is the user tab. Okay. If you click on it and do a drop down, you would see the options active users, contacts, guest users, deleted users. Now, because this is a new organization that we just created, the only user account that would be available there is my user account, which is the one that I put in when I was setting up the organization. All right. What that means is when I was setting up the free trial to create the organization, the email that I put in that I wanted is what is created. And I mentioned that because you are the person creating the organization, you are automatically given a global administrator role. What is a global administrator role? Global administrator role is the highest um, security role that can be given to you, which means you manage everything about that organization, everything about that infrastructure. And I'll show you. If I click on my user account here, and it will bring up details of the account, right? It will bring up all the details. And under the roles, you can see that it says global administrator. Okay. On your own time, you can just read up on the roles that are available on Microsoft 365. There are a lot of them, and I would explain some as we go. All right. But global administrator is the highest role that you can have. So, majorly for a big company, they always have one or two global administrators and other administrators because you don't want too many people to have total control of your infrastructure, at the same time. That can be detrimental. All right. And I'm just going to explain a few things here. We have a username, which is the email. Remember, because I did not connect a domain, right? So we're going to have to use the default one, which is the on Microsoft.com domain, right? If I have a domain, if I created a 365ngotraining.com domain, I could have added it in and I would change it to that instead of using the on Microsoft. But that's by the way, I will show you where we can change that later on. And just by looking at this, you can see a few information about the user. The last sign-in date is here. I just signed in. It's there. You can see my alternate email address, which is what I use to create the tenant. Uh, it will automatically create a company-wide group, which is using the name of the company, which is the 365 NGO training, and just some few details about myself that I put in when I was creating the account. Okay. All right. You click on devices. Well, I don't have any devices set up. This is a new organization, as you know, so no devices. We're going to go to licenses and apps. Now, we added in a Office 365 E3 trial license, which is here. It is valid for 1 month, and after 1 month, it would automatically renew, as I mentioned. And you can create up to 25 or assign licenses up to 25 users using this trial license. So you can play around with that and create users. I just wanted to show us what is included into this license. So if you click on the drop down beside in front of apps, you would see details of all the services that are attached to this license. Okay, which is a lot. We have about 33 of them. Services. Exchange Online Plan 2 that you see here is for emails. Okay, so if you have a Exchange Online license or um, service, you can always know that, okay, this is going to automatically provision a mailbox for my user. All right, it will create a mailbox for my user. If you scroll down, you would see Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise, which I'm going to show you later on, and some other services that are available to the user. All right, go out of here, and then